All right. Errol Spence Jr. is out and being active. I'm excited about it. His next potential opponent, Danny Garcia, is fighting this weekend against Ivan Redcash. I'm sure I mispronounced his name, but Ivan and Danny are going to fight. Hopefully we get to see him in the ring and with a contract ready to go for Danny Garcia or Manny Pacquiao. But there is some concern out there for the people come to my channel because they've seen Errol Spence doing things that they don't think he should be doing. So let's talk about those things in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. If you're not subscribed, I hope you accept my invitation to subscribe. Also, much love to everybody that supports in the Patreon, in the live streams. Join the channel members. Thank you guys so much. All right, let's get to this. Errol Spence Jr. has been on Twitter a lot more actively. He is, somebody left me a comment in the comment section of my video, said that they saw him out playing basketball. So it seems like Errol Spence Jr. is getting himself in condition, getting ready for what he said was going to be a return on, I think he said either late spring or early summer. And the two people that he named were for those fights were either Manny Pacquiao or Danny Garcia. So, but reasonably, and I'll say this reasonably because the people that left the comments for me reasonably said that they had concern. Well, one person said they had concern about him playing basketball, and another person just cracked a real crude joke about the amount of sweating that Errol Spence Jr. was doing, right? So I want to talk about the one about him, whether or not he's doing things that he shouldn't be doing. And also there's a lot of people that, like my co-hosts on OG Boxing Talk that think that, hey man, he just needs to take time off. He doesn't need to come back so soon. And look, man, this is my thing, man. Errol Spence Jr. is in a situation where, because he's a big welterweight, and he has a tendency, or at least it seemed he had a tendency over his last two fights, to go too high up in weight in between fights. So, and then he had to spend a good amount of time in training camp to, and just losing weight, not focusing on strength, not focusing on conditioning, right? So, he, and this is people telling me that, people's observations in the Mikey Garcia fight is actually something I heard from somebody that I've actually heard out of Dallas. And so he just didn't have the strength that he wanted to have in between those fights, right? At least during the Mikey Garcia fight. I can't speak as much for the Sean Porter fight. I just think for the Sean Porter fight that, that's just Sean Porter. Sean Porter is going to bring it to you. Sean Porter is a relentless fighter, man. And actually Errol Spence Jr. showed real solid endurance in that fight because he pushed through and he was taking the fight to Sean Porter pretty much the whole time. But anyway, I think that being in the situation he was with the car accident, right? If he was to just take time off and not exercise, not train, he could easily find himself to be in a situation where if he took 6 months off, then he could be looking like Keith Thurman was looking before Keith Thurman came back and fought Josecito Lopez. Because Keith Thurman had a rumor of a car accident. He also had, surgery on his hand, he might have had surgery on something else, but he also had physical injuries and he took a long time out, and you could see how much he ballooned in between the two, and he came back, and his body, I don't think he ever had a tremendously strong, ability to take body shots tremendously well, but he looked significantly softer in the fight with Josecito Lopez and Manny Pacquiao than he did when he was fighting Danny Garcia and when he was fighting Sean Porter. So that amount of time off even if you're not drinking even if you're not, out late at night partying, all that stuff, that long layoffs will affect you, man. So the fact that he is out running, the fact that he's out running and sweating, he's playing basketball, he's staying that he's staying active, that he's in the gym, man, that is a much, much, much better option than being stagnant, staying at home, not being involved in life, and also mentally for him, just going back to your life that you were living. I'm sure there's some things that, he's going to want to get rid of, like driving a car too fast, being involved in the other things associated with that accident. But if you're not hearing that the guy is, if you don't not seeing him out doing, well, two things. Even if you are seeing him, hey man, that's that man that he's not hurting anybody but himself if he's out drinking or doing different things. He's only hurting himself. Okay, if that's the case. So, I'm the type of guy that's like, hey man, if you're not doing anything that's going to get you arrested, if you're not doing anything that is really going to lead you, to major personal problems, and all you're doing is affecting your career, I don't like to make videos about that or go off and preach to guys like that, because honestly, man, let he without sin cast the first stone. That's how I feel. But there's nothing that I see in this that is anything to me but encouraging. Just stay active, keep going, push, and I don't know if he's sparring yet. He probably might want to hold off on the sparring until his teeth get set and all that. But there's nothing that I'm really seeing, man, that is a bad thing for him. Now, Mikey, the other issue is, what is he going to actually do next? Danny Garcia is fighting this guy Red Cash on Saturday. Ivan, I think his name is Ivan Red Cash. You know what? I really need to look and read up on him, man, because I don't want to say I took the J-Rock Jason Rosario fight for granted, because I had seen Rosario fight and I knew he was a solid fighter. I just thought that the guy's chin, I thought J-Rock was going to touch that chin and he would go away, but it was the other way around. So I need to go back and look at this guy a little more carefully that's fighting Danny Garcia, man, because, hey, man, 2019 was a year of a lot of upsets, and 2020 jumped out the gates with another upset. So, hey, man, who knows what can happen? But Angel Garcia said that he was hoping that they would have the contract for either Errol Spence Jr. or Mikey Garcia, or Manny Pacquiao, in the ring for them to sign after that fight is over. And hey, man, I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to it. I don't think it's gonna be Manny Pacquiao, I believe that it's gonna be Errol Spence Jr. that he's gonna fight next. And if this is January, so you're probably looking sometime around around early summer, July, right? July or August, late summer, early August. I don't think if it's Danny Garcia that he would be ready for spring, late spring, early summer, because that would be around, what is that? The May, June time frame, and that's like 4 months away. I think that would be a little bit of quick of a bounce back for Danny Garcia, but it would work for Errol Spence Jr. Now, if everything really is true, and I have no reason to doubt it, that Errol Spence Jr. really is healthy, all the way healthy, and the accident didn't cause anything other than him really having to get his teeth reset, and there's nothing mental, there's no issue about it, then that time frame might work, because Errol Spence Jr. fought, because you don't want Errol, if he's not hurt, you really don't want Errol Spence Jr. out of the ring that long. He was active in 2019. He was active in 2019. He was active in 2018. 2017 was kind of sporadic for him, because people were really, there was still a lot of that ducking going on over there with the situation with Keith Thurman, and Sean Porter didn't want to fight him, and Danny Garcia didn't want to fight him. So, that stuff was going on. So I think you want to keep him active. I'm just hoping that he's really focused on, getting his weight down, keeping his weight right, and doing the physical strength and conditioning so he's 100%. But anyway, it's going to be what it is. It's going to be what it is. I'm looking forward to seeing what's happening. Again, I don't really think it's that big a deal what Errol Spence Jr. is doing with, the playing basketball and all that stuff. I just think that people just need to just kind of let it go and see what's going on. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.